Okay, so that's going to keep you at 2
Okay,
under for the
flyby.
round.
What do we got? So it looks like a long par 4, maybe a par 5, probably a long par 4. So the initial layout, probably into the wind. You want to be out left of those bunkers with a favorable wind. You probably want to fly over them off the fairway. You definitely want to come in this flag from the right-hand side. So if you can get a bit of an angle coming in from the right, the wind's going to be at your back, and there's room around the flag to run it up to it if it's a longer hole. Yeah, par 5. Cool, par 5, wind at our back, so full green light. We got a tailwind, moving, you know, 8, let's call it 8-ish. So we can definitely see that 250 marker. That's past, more or less, if you kind of bring it over the same angle, it's basically past the end of that bunker. So we can go straight over the middle of that. We got a lot of fairway there. The wind will push it a little bit more to the left. And so we'll go about there. That should be good. And we'll get a good swing, hit the fairway. Bad. Okay, good. Ooh, crushed it. Ooh, big one. Ooh. Oh, it's par 4. It's not par 5. Okay,
I'd say
316.
it's
So
about
there's a fair bit of
120
yardage, or a
yards
fair
or
bit of
so
wind
to
there.
the pin from here.
So we got 121. We're at the angle because we're a little bit more to the right hand side. If you have a look at, so we're coming in sort of from the proper angle, so we can kind of attack that flag. 121. That wind's definitely blowing. Obviously, we hit a 316-yard drive, so it's not a light wind. That's got to be, that's got to be 10. Got to be 10. Might be 11 or 12, but it's definitely got to be 10. So 121 plus 6 feet, so that's 123. Let's call it 10 yards downwind. It's maybe going to give us, you know, 9 worth of credit. So that's about 114 yards downwind. It's going to roll out more. So we go to our 120-yard club. I find this is one of my favorite distances, actually. Sort of a half box aloft. I use a lot of half boxes. Half box aloft. That's about 111, 112 yards. So hopefully this should put us somewhere right near the hole. It should have a little bit of spin. Good swing. That was one on. Bring it over, wind. Oh, be good, baby. Be good. Not bad.
Okay, nice approach.
Okay, bang on.
All
We were
right,
pretty good to
eagle
the yardage
6
there.
on the pad here.
Pretty much nailed it. Now, okay. So my initial impression there is it looks like he's leaning more to the right, which kind of like on a side hill lie in the fairway. To me, it looks like he's bending more to the right, like tilted more to the right than he would normally be, which tells me my initial gut instinct with that is he is standing and his feet are above the ball, which means left to right. So it's there's no real elevation to look for here, but we want this putt. This is a 6-foot putt, birdie putt. I just, is there anything dangerous? It looks like there's a fair bit of slope there, to be honest. So I want to be careful with it. I want to try and give it a good read. Give it a spin. Again, my gut was left to right. Um, but there's not a ton in it, and the green speed's not really fast. I think 6 feet. I think if we go inside the hole, kind of firm-ish. 7, 8, 9. That should hopefully work. Dead center.
Yes.
So we started at the left edge, went a little left center, or it went a little
3
bit left
under
to
for the
right, so we made another
round.
birdie there. That's good.
Okay,
Oh,
grip
God.
it, grip it. Let's go.
Skip the flyby. I'm an idiot. So we got a short par 4. Wind's still blowing pretty good. And so, what we got? Ooh, it's a narrow fairway. So the wind's definitely going to push it to the right. So I want to aim kind of just at the left side of the fairway and let the wind bring it back a little bit. And I'm not going to mess around with fade and draw. Just let it happen.
Nice.
Yeah, that wind's moving pretty good, man. That wind's moving pretty good. So at a 45-degree angle, that pushes over about 3/4 of the width of the fairway.
Okay,
So
about
from a side,
130 yards out.
if the wind was straight sideways, we definitely have to factor it in. Okay, 128 yards again, into the wind diagonally, moving pretty good again. You know, we were pretty close with our estimate of about 10 before. It's flapping a little bit more. I'm going to call it 9. 9 at a 45, maybe 10. Maybe give it credit for 10. So that's 138. 138. 138. It's a weird number. Half a box on an 8 iron is 135. 135. Just a hair more than that. I'm going to give it a little bit of draw to try and take some of the edge off the wind. I'm aiming a little bit to the left of the flag. Ball looks like it might be a hair above my feet. And I pull damn near every single shot. So hopefully this works. Oh, it'll be good. It'll be really good. Okay, so when that ball landed,
Little 6 footer here, nothing
another
scary.
sneaky trick, and hopefully this isn't against rules. Watching the replay. Watch what happens, and you know, the follow cam and whatnot. I always kind of chase after the ball and have a look at it. I want to see what happens when it lands. So in this case, you got the bounce, bounces to the right, rolls to the right. So it's coming off some sort of ridge there, but generally what that's telling me is this green's going left to right. I don't need to see the replay anymore. So generally that's saying that's going left to right. I'm looking at the cup. I see the cup tilting a little bit to the left. I see the top of the putter is kind of in line with the cup. So again, initial gut instinct. Everyone's got their biases. My initial gut instinct bias is left to right. So I'm kind of looking at that again. I'm looking at that angle, and I'm seeing that dying from my golfer's left to the right, right at the hole. So I'm going to go inside left edge. Give it a little bit of speed. Hit it firm. And my birdie.
4 under for the round.
Oh gosh.
Third on that last hole. Let's see another one.
Awesome. Skip the flyby. So, what do we got? So 250. So our drive should clear that junk in the middle of the fairway. That's a nice touch. So we don't, and that's that junk there. So you can see that garbage out there where my crosshair is, in line with the white tee. So that's what we don't want to hit. 250, we should fly it. So if we aim there, we should be good. We got a little bit less wind now. That's probably more like, you know, 8-ish, 9-ish. Relatively simple. We shouldn't skip the flyby there. That probably would have been nice to be able to see the green.
Looking good so far.
That's a good drive. Oops, hit. Sit-a-boo. Okay. Flag. Oh, yeah. I remember this hole from practice.
And,
So, just looking at the green from here, you can see the, I can't point with anything, but if you look just kind of to our golfer, ignoring this ridiculous side hill lie that we're on, there's going to be a lot of crap that happens here. But you see how you can see the green on the left-hand side, where you can't see it on the right-hand side. So in between the bunker, the green side bunker on the left and the front bunker, you can see a lot of the green there. So that means there's basically a false front. So that flag is on top of a ridge. That's important because if back here we can't see the green, so that means it's likely sloping away from us, right? Or it's relatively flat. But over here, we can see a lot of the green, so we're looking at the face of the hill, right? Again, real golfer's eyes. So what that means is we got to make sure we get this ball to the flag, otherwise we're going to have a pretty nasty uphill putt, and it might roll back down to us. That's not going to be an easy task because it looks like that flag is tucked back left. Our wind, that flag's not helping a whole bunch. So, you know, less than 7, 6. I'm going to go with 6, 5 or 6. Probably 5. So 132. So 137 less 5 miles, 5 yards for the wind. It's 132. We want to make sure we get there. It's not going to roll. The wind offset with the hill. Yeah, we got a lot of junk around in this shot. This is a tough shot. So I'm going to go for 132. I'm going to take just a hair off it. Not a lot. That's probably overthinking it. I'm leaving it out to the right because I've got a big side hill here. The ball's above my feet, and the wind's going a little bit right to left. I'm going to aim at that weird-looking cactus. And I'm going to give it a little bit of fade to try and offset the side hill. Hopefully we've made all the right decisions. And we can swing.
Now that was a swing.
That could be good. Be right. Okay. Mission accomplished.
Okay, on the green.
That's a good
All
shot.
This next one's for birdie.
So, we're over top of that ridge now. So it looks relatively, once you're up top here, it looks relatively flat. My initial gut instinct, I'm seeing the cup tilting to the left. My initial gut says right to left. The other thing that some folks do is they'll move the aim marker around. Okay, so you see how here our elevation, so that's going up 1 inch of elevation. If we keep that in line with the flag, but here it's not. So what that tells you, this is kind of the golf club version of plumb bobbing. So what that tells you is here, that land is higher than this land. And if we go this way, that land is lower than this land. So that's even with our ball. That's 1 inch below our ball. That's 1 inch above our ball. So in a span of what looks like, it might be 10 feet there, we've got a 2 inch drop. So everything about this putt is right to left. And it's probably going to be a bit of a nasty breaker. So, if we go a whole width outside and we hit it relatively firm, and on regular aids golf, I would probably plug this just outside the right edge and I'd hit it, 4 or 5 feet past the hole. But because the 5 and 6 footers are so tough, I want to make sure that I don't really screw anything up here. So I'm going to give it 2 feet past, maybe just a hair more than that, and take just a hair off. But this should all be right to left. All be right to left. And I'm going to change my mind, just take a little bit less off it. There we go.
Yes.
It was a good putt. Plus one of the other tricks, plumb bobbing.